Okay, everyone, here's our Bitcoin update. The daily candle closed bullish. Look at the size of it. Bullish engulfing, too, because you can put this one inside of it and above the point of control. 23,268. We're back above 23K. So shout out to anyone. What a move for Bitcoin, right? What a move. I don't think I had really looked at the KuCoin chart, or did we use that today? I think I was using the Coinbase chart and the Binance chart, right? So this is the chart we looked at today, and I kept saying how this is a falling wedge. Falling wedges do break up, but we were in a descending triangle, right? And it was kind of sketchy. And when we looked at, let's see, the 15-minute, let's see kind of what happened here. So we had the shoulder, head, and kind of a right shoulder for sure. But they also had the shoulder, head, and this shoulder. And, you know, technically you could say that inverted head and shoulder broke up, but it went up, came back down violently. And this was Biden's speech, right? So during Biden's speech, I honestly think people think it's Biden's speech. But what I think is the people who move the market use Biden's speech just to, like, you know, grab liquidity in whatever area they want. At the end of the day, the speech kind of was whatever. We did have this flag, and we said this flag could break up to $23,333. And look at that, 33333. But, you know, and if you watch my live stream, I remember saying this, like Bitcoin could go up to 23,339 and, you know, taking this. So it's pretty interesting. I mean, that's pretty, we wicked up to it, and then we're back down, but nice pump for Bitcoin. Biden's speech was bullish, apparently. That's why Bitcoin pumped, whatever people want to believe. But, you know, we made it out of the zone. This flag ended up breaking to the upside, right? Unbelievable move on the 15. And, you know, look at the 1 hour. We were basically somewhat bearish all day. Like, the move just kind of manipulated the stochastics. All that matters was he got above the point of control. This red line right there. If I go to the 4 hour. Super important. We got above this red line right here, 23,000, right? And now it's looking interesting. You know, the 4 hour now got overbought. The 4 hour had a nice pump. If you look at it, it was a nice pump on the 4 hour time frame. So we're going to, you know, delete most of this, and we're going to start over and look fresh. But at the end of the day, it was this flag that broke to the upside, right? And it hit the target for Bitcoin. Pretty awesome. I was never feeling a short. I mean, it looked likely that we could get a dump. The measured move was down here, but we held this double bottom, and it is a double bottom, and now we're beginning a double bottom. And honestly, I believe it till it's not. So, like, this is a double bottom till it's not. That has a giant measured move to about here, right? And so I'm about to go all in on Bitcoin, and like, just this market's just looking pretty bullish to me. Now, there's bearish scenarios. Like, what's the bearish scenario? That this is kind of a bearish divergence here. But in my mind, the bearish divergence played out. I've back tested this. Some people were saying, no, we're still in a quadruple bearish divergence. Like, if it goes up one more time, I guess that would technically be right. Like, if this kind of goes up and we don't break that high and we pump really high, then we're gonna have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna have a huge bearish divergence. And then, you know, I'll take that. But if this ends up going super high with price and we knock that high out, then it's, you know, then that negates that. So I'll be watching that. That's something that I'll look at because it's possible, right? So again, I just deleted all our work, you know, or the work, right, on the chart we've been playing, and we're just gonna kind of get back into where we're at and see what's going on. But congrats, you know, we didn't put out shorts. You know, I wasn't. When I see a short, I start putting out 3S tokens, and I tell everyone, you know, I think, you know, even if I think an inkling of a short, you know, I didn't do that. I've always been kind of strong on the idea that Bitcoin has been holding support. So until it broke support, I was bullish on it. And, you know, even though the oscillators were starting to kind of look a little like the momentum was gone, I just trusted that Bitcoin would hold support. So what do I mean? Well, look, previous resistance becomes new support, and you have a resistance right here that we came to nicely right there. Boom, and we're using that as a support zone right now. We bounced off it here too as well. We wicked to it right there. We had a little bit of motion inside that area too. So a few times now we've met this area, and Bitcoin has, has responded. So that's one thing that I'm looking at. So when we look at the bigger time frame, we could even just say we can forget about like even that crazy pattern, and like we're just in this nice little flag here on the daily, right? And we could come back down for sure and test 22.5, and there'd be nothing wrong with that. Another thing is Bitcoin's bigger now. It can lose a thousand to $500-600, and it's really just a move. And then we'd be looking for our first initial pump to the upside here, and it could even happen earlier. We could start to pump even earlier, but the hidden bullish is really starting to take place. If this really solidifies and this comes even lower, and we end up getting like something like this or anything like this or that, I mean, you're going to have a really nice hidden bullish that's really going to establish the idea that we make a high higher than this previous high. That would be healthy consolidation for Bitcoin too. And we could go up even quicker, but this is looking bullish to me as long as we hold this line, which we've been, and it was so close to breaking 23K, right? And I showed you that 23,300 is a major area. We get above that, and if the monthly can close above that, that's going to be a big deal for our monthly candle. So we'll be looking at that for the end of February too. Short month as well, right? So daily looks really nice to me. I like what the daily's doing. It's curving, showing signs of love, right? The MACD is turning for us here. That turning up. It's got, the pink showing. We're waning on the sellers. We broke up. We're hanging out here. We get above this high volume node, and we come and take out this high at 15K, at 25K, and then I just, lately the VRVP has been staying so true. And there's just a chance that we get up to here. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. Like, we could dump to 10K. Like, I'm open-minded. I don't want everyone to think I'm 100% a bull. But it just, we are, like, for me to become completely bearish, we'd have to break this level. Then we'll start drawing bear flags. Then we'll break this level. And then we'll break, and then once we get there, I'll say, well, are we going to break into this zone, right? So I just take it level by level. I don't have to project too far into the future if I look at it every day. That's how I kind of calm myself down one day. One day I was like, everyone makes these predictions, where Bitcoin's going to go, what it's going to do. And I'm like, well, if I just kind of check on it every 5 to 6 hours and keep adjusting, what I'm looking for and my plan, then I really can't, like, how can I miss? And it relieved me one day. I was like, oh yeah, like, you're not going to miss. I was like I said one day, I was like, I stream every day. So, and if I see a big move, I usually stream for Bitcoin, and I sleep 6 to 7 hours. So like, there's a high probability that I'm going to stream at the bottom or near the bottom or where Bitcoin bottoms. You know what I mean? And we're going to be able to see it, be near it, or buy close to it. And like I did, we ended up, if this ends up being the bottom, we definitely took advantage of it, right? So this is interesting. One other idea that I'm looking at too is like, is this a shoulder ahead, and do we make some kind of shoulder? But like, because that's so much higher than the other shoulder, to me, it kind of starts to make it feel a little interesting. But it, still could be interesting, could be an inverted, and we could come down. What low do we make everyone is looking for? A lot of people don't believe this is the low. I just think we've had so many chances to begin to make the low and start to be coming down if that wasn't the low. So, in the daily is in a really good spot, and the 22-hour has momentum. And the 22-hour basically has like hidden bullish in a way, because you would start like really right up there to match it. And it's just trending down while you get this uptrend in the RSI, which is, and usually it's bigger, like it's something like this. But even if I do it like this, fine, like it's still hidden bullish because that's such a higher move, right? It's like extreme hidden bullish divergence. So it really says that there's a bigger move coming out of this. That's what divergence is for. But again, anything is possible. I'll be open-minded. I'll be completely open-minded. Let's move on into the 4-hour. The 4-hour is getting overbought. Right. And one thing, okay, I'll be honest, I'll always be open-minded. Shoulder, head now, are we making a right shoulder? And that's pretty bearish. And that's Bart Simpson feel. And that could start a dump right back down to this area, right? Your measured move would take you here. You can see, and then you have the gap in the VRVP, and you're getting overbought on the 4-hour. So you need the 4-hour to kind of double top here and get a nice move out of here somewhere. And that's when it resets, it kind of does that, and we get a move. And when we come down, because if not, if we start to curve down and curve hard and dump here, I mean, that's going to take it here, and then we'll, you know, bearishly retest. We'll be looking at the smaller time frames, and we'll know, and then boom. So this is your bearish scenario that we're making a right shoulder here, and we could see a dump to the downside. So that's just something that you want to keep on your radar, right? And I'll keep you up to date on that. We'll watch that. That should take, you know, 4 or 5 to 7 4-hour candles, you know, you'd hope, really, you know, at least 4 or 5, you believe, to play out. So this shoulder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that was like 40 hours, you know. So we got time, but we want to be preemptive and be able to kind of just make sure we see the bearish scenarios in case we don't want to be 100% bullish. And the 1 hour is just doing a nice sideways action tonight. Like, it's just looking nice. Like, I believe we go sideways into tonight. Altcoins like that. A lot of altcoins are looking nice. You know, I'm seeing a lot. I've posted a lot of charts. I don't want to post anymore. My wife said enough. She said, you posted enough. She said, enough. That's enough charts. I said, all right. I just want to make sure a lot of new people join the group. I want to make sure they get what they came in for. I want them to understand what we do here. You know, I want them to jump right in as lifers and really feel at home and begin to learn. Yeah, so I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I do see that one bear scenario, but the bigger time frames, they're looking really good to me as long as we stay above 23K. It's an interesting scenario that we're in, and I'm more optimistic than I am pessimistic. I mean, about all things, but even just about the charts. But we'll see. I can flip bearish at any moment. We can short. That would be a nice short down for liquidity, right? And it would be pretty fast, so it would be easy to make money on that short if we did lose those zones. So there's money to be made either way. I'm excited for it. However, if it did dump, it would take, you know, it would probably stress a lot of the charts that we have going on. So we'd like to see Bitcoin, just all Bitcoin can go down to 22.5. That's what you don't realize. Like, Bitcoin just has to stay in this channel. If it channels through here for the next day, day and a half, a lot of Bitcoins are just going to fly. All right. And that's our Bitcoin update for the night.